Howdy, folks. Welcome back to another week of Deck Check in its members first format now. Just as a heads up, this series will probably be changing over the next couple of weeks as we sort of figure things out and get it down to how we want it to be now that it's going to be going public on Fridays and everything for you guys. I'm doing spoilers, by the way, for the deck that we're going over, so we'll get there anyway. But before we jump into the content here, if you're a member and you're seeing this early, thank you so much for supporting us handsome boys on the channel. We appreciate you so much, and we hope you're enjoying the content. If you guys have any decks you want us to keep an eye out for, please let us know, and we'll try and do our best to kind of get those on this series as we go. And if you are someone who's viewing this when the video goes public on Friday, hello, hi, hopefully you guys enjoy this series. If you enjoy it so much that you feel like you want to stick around, you should maybe hit the subscribe button, drop the video a like if you like it that much. Oh, it's so gracious, oh goodness, so mindful and demure of you. But yeah, that will be it from me. I'm gonna let Ben start us off here with a little bit of a kickback.
Yeah, we've got a really interesting all-force list here by Joel. This was done at a Tamer battle over in Brunei. Got first place out of a pool of 16, so pretty solid showing here. We start off with a pretty solid blue rookie lineup here. I think it's sort of like blue in general, not just this deck, which we'll get into later on, but I think blue in general has become almost an archetype of just a hodgepodge of the best cards available, you know?
Yeah.
It's both great and sad to see kind of you don't see any tribal decks in blue as much anymore outside of maybe Imperial.
Yeah.
Because you see the Veedramon, which gives you memory, which is very, very good for all fours. You've got the Bio for jamming. I'm assuming this Galmon is here really to bounce any floodgates and level 3s when attacking, which is what it's really good for. You've got your typical Uko package, which helps with consistency. And a little bit of tempo, being able to hatch and promote a rookie right off the gate next turn is always really good. This promo Veedramon right here, I think, was sort of one of the missing pieces that Allforce needed to kind of at least make some sort of a comeback.
It's so good.
It's not meta by any means, but for sure, this Veedramon is just so good. Being able to search, pick up something with Veedra and Tamer. And then when this Digimon becomes unsuspended, gain a memory is also really just so good for Allforce. You plug in, of course, the Gaga that gives jamming, because blue loves its jamming. And an interesting choice here is the fighter mode from BT12. Going over it, it makes sense, right? When you Evo, you suspend all of your opponent's Digimon and you bot deck stuff. You miss out, I would believe, on the check +1 because you're typically pure blue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's no other multicolored sources here, so you're not really getting the all turns effect.
Yeah.
But, it seems like it's just a decent, free trait card that offers some control. I imagine it's just some of the idea there.
Yeah, and similar to that, I mean, we've got your typical all-force Tamer lineup with the the promo V Tamer. You've got your Renas sitting at a 4 of. The interesting kind of tech choice is the Davis and Ken. It does make sense to a degree, right, where you can play out a Veemon. Now, I will say, you do only run 3, so I wonder how much that actually came up. I think you really are using it more so for the cheaper Evo, being able to just suspend, gain a memory when you Evo into another card. I guess just helps you climb up into Allforce that much faster. And then obviously the trainings and the scrambles help again with just speeding up into your top end. And then you always want to run some security bombs. So Ice Wall and Full Moon again are just 2 of Blue's best security bombs that you could run in a deck.
Yeah.
So you see both of them at a 1 of. So again, just a hodgepodge of really good blue cards and just intertwined in with the core Allforce engine, which is really cool to see.
Yeah, that's cool. We like Allforce. Bump,
Yes,
bum, bum, bum. I don't know why I did the farmers thing. I'm sorry. All right, anyways, move on to the next list.
Yeah.
All right, jumping in. We got TaoLoop. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. This list isn't too different from what we've already shown in the past. A lot of the BT17 pieces that are really good, the BT19 pieces that help us drop Renas for free. Some Magnamon X in there, some old EX2 Renamon, which is really nice. Obviously, you have your key pieces of the deck with Tao Ace, Kuzaha, Sakuya X, the BT17, or 19 rather, Sakuya, Ruin modes, of course, all your options that you need. It's just cool to see a sort of neat deck doing neat things. I do really, just really wish that just like regular Sakuya instead of like gimmick Sakuya was a good deck.
Yeah.
I'm sure one day it'll have its like time in the light, right? Like Gallant right now is having its spotlight. Beelzemon has had its time. Rapid, like Bunnies, is still like not bad necessarily. It's just I don't think really anyone really plays it too much. It can still do some cool things. Like Mega Gargoyle Ace is still a powerful card. Rapid X is still a powerful card. So you know, like the other decks from Tamers are all having their time in the spotlight. So hopefully we get a more like dedicated time in the spotlight for
sure.
for Renamon and Sakuya, Rika, and all that stuff. Maybe, who knows? Maybe we'll get an advanced deck like Biel's and Terrier got. That was the theory for a while.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, it's about time that Sakuya got its own like dedicated starter.
We should get an advanced deck next, I think, if like history repeats itself a bit, right? Because we had the BL's one, and then 15 and 16 were the Greymon and Melga decks, and then 17 and 18 were the Liberator decks. And then now we have 19 and 20, which are going to be the adventure decks.
Right.
With the sort of like, they're called like Crest of Hope, but it's Wargray and
Give me a Mirage starter deck.
We'll see. I don't know. We'd probably get like a Shine and Mirage starter deck.
Shine and Mirage at some point, right?
That's not probably. I wouldn't be surprised if we got it one day, but that would be a scary day.
One can hope.
Because those two decks were
problem children.
Yeah. Mirage is still considered a problem child, even though it's not. It's completely different from what it used to be. In terms of like its core of the build. Anyways, but yeah. So moving on, TaoLoop. Hopefully, it's just cool to see Sakuya doing something, even if it's a weird gimmick.
Yeah.
Moving on, a little bit of a different thing, and I'll let Ben sort of explain what we're doing.
Sure.
Here.
Yeah. This list was run by Marcos Greppi. Soy Marcos is the username. He is a very regular player at Eagles webcam locals. I participated in this tournament yesterday as well. I try to show up every Monday as best I can. For those of you who aren't aware, Eagle X, fellow content creator, but also does host a really great local scene every Monday and every Thursday. They start at about 7:30 Central Time, depending on the day. I'll drop their Discord link down in the video description below, so feel free to check them out. The player scene is great. You've got a lot of strong players. A lot of the player pool, like, they top regularly. A lot of them were in top 32 at Nats. Marcos himself, I wanted to highlight his deck because he ended up getting third yesterday at the time of recording, but he also got second place at the LATAM American Finals. So congrats to Marcos for that. That's a huge accomplishment. And he's a really skilled player. I think I've played against him once, and he absolutely just wiped the floor with me. But he was, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think. Well, no, I'll let you finish before I go.
Sure. But he was running Purple Hybrid. If you can't already see by now, I think we're seeing a lot of like expressiveness come out with Purple Hybrid, right? Like you've got people running the yellow package, you've got people running like AG and the Lugamons. Marcos here is running sort of your more standard, almost like pure purple with a little bit of spice here and there. A lot of people are going to be turning back to the level 5 Argomon for really just the mirror. Being able to suspend Tamers and force them to stay locked down is really good. The Nidhoggmon has also made a sort of resurgence in like the pure purple build, mainly because you do a lot of just draw one, trash one, and if you trash a Nidhogg, you can just gain more memory, which in a deck that has access to 4 Jack Raids, a lot of Mem boosts, you've got the Cupimon egg that gains you memory along with Koichi. Like you've got so much room for memory gain that why not at this point, right?
Yeah.
The Rush Gallant, also a very good top end choice, very good finisher for late game because as Purple Hybrid, again, you're building up trash very efficiently. So this can come out at many times and just either delete a top end and go for game at the same time, which is really good. The one spice that I really liked was the Keenan, the one of the Keenan. 3-cost Tamer, I forget exactly what he does. I know you played Ravemon.
I did play a bit of Rave. I don't have the ability to look him up right now because I would have to tab out.
Sure.
You know what?
I'll do it.
I'm already doing it. People are seeing my browser. I'm going through deck builder. That's okay. All right, okay. Keenan. On play, your opponent may trash one tamer card or option card in their hand. If they don't, you gain a memory and draw a card. And then opponent's turn, when an effect plays a Digimon, by suspending this tamer, gain a memory. I remember the second part. I just didn't remember the first part.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a sneaky one-of. I do like it.
Yeah. No, it's cool. It's really, really cool. The other thing I want to point out too, that's Yakomon from EX8. I feel like that card is very much, I'm seeing it creep up more and more in purple decks now. Like if you don't have like a dedicated like rookie base and you just are looking for like a generically good rookie to toss in there. I mean, inheritable of when attacking to just pop a level 3 or lower or level 3 Digimon on your opponent's side of the board. And then like on deletion, just draw one, trash one. Pairs very well with Cupid. Pairs very well with Demimera. Just being able to like either, you know, pitch 2, draw 1, gain a memory, or pitch 2, draw 2. Like it's, or you know, rather draw 2, pitch 2 rather. But it's, you know, it's just good. It's a very, very solid consistency piece for like hybrid decks. Lots of other just like decks that like aren't like married to a rookie lineup. It's cool just to see like another like generic like rookie kind of enter the fold, because we haven't had one in a while. I think we've had like a couple of tech things, but I think the last thing we had was probably the ST Gabu. Really, that's been like a generic like purple rookie, I guess I should say.
Sure. Yeah, no, it's really cool to see. I mean, I think purple has just become like the archetype of answers, right? Like this is a very aggressive list, but also a list that has a lot of answers and a lot of utilization of trash as a hand, right? You pitch so much that you've got rivals, you've got calling, like you've got so much, and you've got 2 of the mats that let you bring stuff back. So I think that's why purple is just so strong right now, right? Where you have like your trash as a second hand. So congrats to Marcos again on not just your 3rd place at Eagles, but also 2nd place at LATAM. That's a huge accomplishment. And for those of you, once again, please do check out Eagles. It's a great scene. It would be great to see it grow even more, you know, as the weeks go on by. And if you're looking for high quality practice, I think look no further.
Yeah, for sure. Fully agree. All right, jumping to the next deck. We're jumping over to NA. We have Aiden's deck from the Oceania. Well, I guess this is Oceania, not NA. It's English.
Yeah, sure.
But this is Aiden's deck. It's a Rapid X deck. He got top 16 at the TAC Regional. I think it was a regional, not an Ulti Cup. It might have been Ulti Cup. I'm not too sure, but bigger tournament.
I think this was.
It was finals.
Oceania Nats. Yeah,
it was Nats. Yeah. This was Nats. It was Nats. So this got top 16 at their Nats. Which Rapid getting top 16 at Nats is pretty awesome. I know Oceania is like usually kind of crazy with their with what top. I will
say though, Rapid also did get top 32 in our NA Nats as well. There was one
sick.
Yeah, one Bunnies player.
Yeah, so we see a lot of just like good bunny stuff, right? We have our ST Terrier, of course. The one of Nyaro to pair well with, you know, our Gummymons that help us give us extra draw. The Alliance Terrier from EX4. We have Terrier X, the Memory Blocker Terrier, all good cards. Rapid is going to be our full level 4 lineup there, with the Armor Rapid, Gold Rapid, which makes sense. It's just so much stronger than any Gargomons we have. They're just very powerful, especially because you can, you know, ace over it with Mega Gargo Ace and stuff. Of course, the ST Rapidmon's also a very powerful card as well. We have some Calumon in there, which is cool. Some neat techs with Cherubimon Ace and Medieval Gallant, which Medieval Gallant's just becoming like that boogeyman staple of a card, much like Death X was for so long. But as Death X has sort of kind of faded into a lack of relevancy, Medieval Gallant is very much filling that void of just a big boss monster you can drop and just clear a decent chunk of board with. Rapid X, of course, is our main boss monster there, and Paladimodes, which is pretty cool. Yeah, and then otherwise we just see a lot of other like standard like green tamer stuff for bunnies. We have our good old BT8 Willis, the Mimi, of course, from BT1, who's cracked. Trainings, Double Typhoon, Scrambles, all that good stuff, and 2 security bombs with Giant Missile and Heaven's Judgment. You know, having just those big powerful option cards to help pull things with protections off the board. So cool
100%.
list. It's just nice to see bunnies doing stuff. All right, moving on to the next. It's all you, Benny Bear.
All right, so we've got another list from the Oceania Finals here. This got top 16 as well, so congrats to Daniel for piloting. Looks like it is Magna X to the top. This is, you know, I'll keep this short too. I mean, this is a pretty standard armors list here. You've got your typical Vmon package. The promo Vmon's just very, very good for getting into your Magnas for a cheaper cost and giving you consistency. You run the full Magnamon lineup pretty much. The starter deck Magnamon with the security effect is just too good not to run out of 4 of, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then the other ones just give you, big bodies or draw power and consistency. You have the Wankuns here just so that you can't be blocked. I think 2 level 5s is typical of what you typically see. Interesting that we're not running the Durandamon, right? The level 6
Yeah,
that lets
it's
you
Durandamon.
kind of
That's
tuck in and
That's
pop
a
a
bit more of
blocker.
a tech choice, I think. I don't think
Yeah.
everybody does it. It's just if you have the
Mhm.
space for it and you feel like doing it, you do it.
Yeah. But I think what they're replacing it with is Blitz Omni, which is a very
Mhm.
good card in its own right.
Mhm.
And then you've got your typical ace cards, your tamers, which are again pretty standard spread. I think you get your memory setter. You get your Digimon Emperors. Davis and Ken always gives you good value with the Vmon into like the BT13 Magna, so that when it leaves, you play out a Vmon, draw 1.
Mhm.
And then you got your standard spread of options too, right? Boost, trainings for consistency, your blinding rays for just proccing Magna X, Zubagons for aggression. The Congo is interesting, but
Yeah.
makes sense. And then Heaven's Judgment and Scramble again to round things off. So again, pretty standard armors list, but still shows that armors is here to stay.
I
Still
do-
a good deck and still does well.
I do think that the tie is a bit of an interesting choice. I don't think that's really standard, is it? Do people run that now? That's like a normal
No,
thing?
I was gonna say yeah. It's like more like Shu Yulin if you're gonna pick a black memory
Yeah,
setter.
but this
Some
one
people will just do
makes
Davis for the
sense.
search.
It just helps you with being a bigger blocker in a meta that has a lot of high DP things, so it helps you kind of hit
Mhm.
that higher threshold on
Yeah,
your opponent's turn. The Emperors also, I feel like, are a card that have kind of phased out of existence, but it's neat to see people running that again.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
guessing it's probably for purple hybrid matchup because of the Ukos being pushed up all the time. and other purple
Ukos,
rookies.
and then like if you're running into a lot of Galaxy, that also hurts too, but not
Yeah.
as much. I think for sure it's really just for the Ukos. I feel like.
Yeah, makes sense. But cool, good list, and congrats to,
Yeah.
to Daniel. And moving on to our final
Yeah.
list.
Oh.
It's my Kaiju. I can't lift my arms like that. That hurts so much to do. Oh my god. For those who don't know, I started doing workout stuff again, and I'm in so much physical pain. So we run.
I'm proud of you though.
Thank you. Pretty cool Dinomon list. We're running 5 Koros, that's what I'm doing. That's the same thing. I have one of the EX8 and then 4 of the BT14 ones as well. This was DJ Villain's list, who also got top 16 at the Oceania Nats, which is awesome. It's so sick to see Dinomon doing crazy things. He's getting top 16 at a Nats performance. Like, that's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just, I love it. Running 2 EX1 Agu, which makes sense to me. 4 of the Searcher Agu, which is really good. I do like the EX4 Agu tech. That's pretty cool. With the Tamer in mind. It is a dinosaur, so you can't evo for the reduced cost over it. Like you can with other, like, I guess like the OG Agu, who's a reptile. But it's still neat, still cool. It's still a good card. Extra draw power as well, because your Tamer's going to suspend when you swing, so makes sense. And then the Rush Gilmon, I mean, it's a reptile, so you can evo over it for reduced cost with your EX8 Tyranno, and then also just a nice like finisher piece, which is cool. It's really good tech. Pretty standard level 4 lineup with EX8 Tyranno and Tyranno X, and then just a few of the BT11 ones in there for the ability to just play out free Ryutaros. Master Tyranno at 3 is interesting to me, but I mean, hey, if it got them top 16, it works, you know? Metal Tyranno is just a fantastic card for protections. Dinomon, brand new boss monster for Tyranno is just a giga powerful card. I love that boy so much. My Kaiju, my Goji boy. 1 Blitz Omni, 1 Bond of Bravery ace, which makes sense. I'm gonna say Bond of Courage because I think Bond of Bravery is still the stupidest freaking thing. Anyways, and then 2 Medieval Gallant, which makes sense to me. I mean, Medieval Gallant is just a powerful card. You're running a red-green deck. It can evo over all of your 5s. It's very searchable off your Garnet Memory boost, your offense trainings. You can evo into it with your scrambles. It's just a good card. It's a fantastic card. And those options I just listed, and then Ryutaro, of course. Not running any memory setter, which I think is neat. Just going straight for only Ryutaro, which I think a lot of people do opt to do. I'm just so traumatized. I don't know why I broke up the word like that. By Ben choking me to 1 every time we play. So, that's my trauma. But yeah, it's cool to see Dino get a Nats top 16 placement. That's just sick to see. It's just cool.
Yeah.
I think just goes to show how good that I think the deck actually is. I think people sleep on it a lot. I myself was like, yeah, it's not gonna be that good, but I'll try and have some fun with it. And then I started playing it, and I'm like, oh no, this is mean. This is aggressive. I mean, I just swing, do 3 checks, or I do like trash security 2 checks. Hard to remove off the board. If you delete me, I'm gonna play back out and pop you back. Like it's just strong. It's a very, very strong deck.
Yeah.
And it's nice that Tyranno can have a bit of a spotlight as well.
I will also say the fact that you have in archetype access to de-digivolve as well
Yes.
is huge.
Yeah.
I think right now in the meta, any deck that has access to de-digivolve has a lot of outs to a lot of the top end monsters. You know, de-digivolve is a huge mechanic right now.
I'd agree. Yeah. And on top of that too, not even just access to de-digivolve, but de-digivolve protection.
Yes.
Which
Yes.
is insane
Yes.
to have both. It's really, really cool. But yeah, that's gonna be it. That's all the lists we got for y'all today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed all the lists we found. I don't know why I'm stuttering. If you if you guys have any lists, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you have any lists you'd like us to try and look at or bring on, please let us know. We will do our best to try and spot them and find them out in the wild. The goal with this eventually is to try and find other lists on like Twitter, Reddit, and stuff like that. Like try and just pull them and try and like just show off what the community's cooking as much as possible, so you guys are sort of like in the know. Digimon Card Meta is just a very convenient place to go to right now, and you know it's great work that they do for us in the community there, because you know it helps us kind of stay up to date on what's happening and what's topping. So but yeah.
And what's going to be super interesting too in the next couple of months is once we get the unification of everything going on, we hope this series can take that next step, right? And also like be a resource for you guys to see like what's topping around as we all are trying to learn together as to what the meta is going to be like. I think it's just going to be super interesting. Like I think it's more of like a geeky project for the both of us, where we're just like interested to see what's going on as people are trying to figure things out.
Because we like to stay, we look at this all the time. We always look at other deck lists of like recent toppings through Eggman's website as well. We both watch East and like all of his meta reports and everything like that to see like how our things are doing. You know, we try and stay the goat. No, I'm not gonna. I was gonna say the best bald digituber in the game, but I don't want to. Yeah, okay, I'm awkward. All right, so. Shout out to East though, fantastic, phenomenal guy and fantastic content creator. If you aren't watching him, you should be. If you're in this community, you should be. It's just silly not to. Yeah, so we're gonna head out. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you on. I'm gonna say the line this time. We'll catch you on that flippy flip.
He said it.
Bye bye.
Bye.
I hurt to wave my arm. Oh god.